Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here. So today, coming at you finally with my hero deck. I feel this is, it's not quite, 100% budget, but it's as close to budget as you can get while still being super competitive. And it's a really fun combination between like a combo deck and still like an OTK deck. I think it's really fun, and I hope you guys like it. Um, there are quite a few, budget options that I went with in this, but there's also some cards that I just absolutely could not cut, um, even if they are a little more expensive, and you'll see those when we get to them. But yeah, let's start off with our elemental hero monsters. Um, First of all, 2 Stratos. You normal or special summon him, and you can add any hero monster from your deck to your hand. That's absolutely amazing. I'll get to why he's at 2 here in just a minute. 2 Solid Soldier. This one you only get a really good effect when you normal summon it. So when you normal summon, you can special summon a level 4 or lower hero monster from your hand. And then when he's sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by a spell effect, so usually, fusion summoning, you can target a hero monster in your graveyard, accept him, and then special summon it in defense position. So that could potentially get you, another search off of Stratos or some other cool effects. And then we also are playing 2 Shadow Mist. Now, when this card is special summoned, you'll be able to add Mass Change from your deck to your hand, which is your way of going into Dark Law or any of your masked hero cards. So that's very, very good. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard by any means, you can add any hero monster from your deck to your hand, which is definitely the main reason we're playing it at 2. It's not really, because you don't get an effect when it's normal summoned, so you don't need to play it at 3, but you definitely need it at 2 so that you can use that effect multiple times. Because like I said, you do have many ways of sending this card to the graveyard, either from the deck or from your hand. And so the reasoning behind two ofs, when you play 2 of a card in a deck, my opinion is these are cards that you're fine seeing in your opening hand, but you don't necessarily need them. Whereas 3 ofs, I feel like you play those because you always want to see those as often as you can. And also, all these cards are easily searchable by a number of ways. So I feel 2 is perfect for some of these. And then I'm playing 1 Bubble Man. So obviously we cut Liquid Soldier. He's amazing, but kind of expensive, and just felt we should save money where we can in this deck. And really, the reasoning for having him, and it's a good reason, is to be able to make Master Hero Acid and also make Absolute Zero. Now these 2 cards, if you can make Absolute Zero first turn and have like a mass change, and then you can, send him to the grave. When he leaves the field, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. And then, like I said, say you mass change into Acid from Absolute Zero, then when he's special summoned, you destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls, and then all monsters they happen to control would lose 300 attack. So yeah, that combination alone is enough for me to play, a decent enough water type. And again, it's searchable, and you don't always get that effect off, because if this is the only card in your hand, you can just special summon it for free. So like, you don't always get that effect off, but you have, a number of like normal spells that you could set, and then be able to have just him in your hand, and then still be able to use these because they're normal spells. So that's nice. And then the last elemental hero monster is Honest Neos. Definitely played at 1. It's not necessary, and again, we have many, many ways of getting to him, when you want to see it, and it's good for OTKs because you simply just discard this card, target a hero monster on the field, and it gains 2,500 attack. So pretty cool. So that is it for the elemental heroes. And then now for the vision heroes, this I just couldn't cut. So I'm doing 3 Ferris and the 2 increase. This is obviously most of the expense in the deck is these 5 cards, and you can by all means go like that, do 2 and 1. I'm definitely choosing to max out because, again, back to my point, you always want to see Vision Hero Ferris. That's why we play 3 of it. And then increase, you really don't want to see it, but you also want to take full advantage of your Ferris that you play 3 of. So that's why we're doing that. Basically, you could discard any other hero monster, special summon him, and then when it's normal or special summoned, you can place a Vision Hero, which will be increase, in your spell and trap zone. And then while this card is in the spell and trap zone, you can tribute a hero monster and special summon it. And then when it's special summoned, you can special summon any level 4 or lower Vision Hero from your deck, which your option there is going to be Vision Hero Vion. That's your best option. And I also play 3 of this because, again, this is one that you can normal summon. It's a really, really good starter. Other than opening a Ferris, you always want to open a Vion if possible. So when this card is normal or special summoned, you can just send any hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. Like send your Shadow Mist or Malicious, or, you have pretty good options with that. And then you can also banish a hero monster from your graveyard and add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. So again, of course, that allows you to go into your fusion plays. This whole Vision Hero engine is absolutely amazing. Again, if you want to cut down on the cost, as much as you can, you could play 2 Ferris and 1 increase. Because again, they are fairly easy to get to. If that's the case, if you go 2-1, I'd probably bump Stratos up to even another 1, because you can always search your Ferris off of the Stratos. So that's just an option for you guys. And then also playing, of course, the 2 Malicious. We'd play 3 if we could, because this is just a free summon. You just banish this from your graveyard, special summon another Malicious from your deck. Really good, just free monster, free warrior, dark monster on board. And then the other Destiny hero monsters we were playing, 1 Plasma, 1 Dynatag, and 1 Decider. These are basically only here for your Fusion Destiny, which is your Fusion Summoning card, basically your polymerization for the Destiny heroes. You send them to the graveyard from the deck. So, and these are basically the only ones that I'm okay if I happen to see them in my hand. You obviously would prefer not to, but they're still decent enough, especially if you can summon out Plasma. He can be pretty good. But yeah, that is it for all the hero monsters. The only other monsters we're playing is 2 Ash Blossom and then 2 Skullmeister. I just felt like these were the best hand traps to play at the moment. You probably should be playing more than 4 hand traps, but I decided to go more combo oriented with this deck. And throw in a couple of really amazing hand traps, especially Skullmeister, super, super cheap as well, that are just very good. So that is it for the monsters that we're playing. And for the rest of the deck, all spells, playing, of course, the 3 Mass Change. You just target a hero monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and then special summon a masked hero monster with the same attribute. Really good. It's quick play. It's not once per turn, so you can use multiple mass changes to, OTK pretty easily. By going into like making a Dark Law and then using another mass change to then make, during the battle phase, obviously, attack, then mass change him away, get out another one, attack with him. So that's a kind of a cheap way of doing that. And then we're also playing 3 Fusion Destiny. This card is kind of crazy because you'll be able to fusion summon a Destiny hero monster, and you can use materials from your hand or deck as fusion materials, and then you have to destroy that monster during the end phase of the next turn. But then for the rest of this turn, you can't special summon except for dark hero monsters, but that doesn't really matter too much, because that's just crazy, being able to fusion summon, using monsters from the deck, kind of like Shaddoll fusion style, but for heroes, really good. And then I am choosing to play 3 emergency call. It allows you to add an elemental hero monster from your deck to your hand. Again, this is a non-once per turn card, and then it of course doesn't restrict the level, so you can add any of your elemental hero monsters that you want to see, including Honest Neos. So really good card. I like it a lot. And then the 1 reinforcement of the army, you add a level 4 or lower warrior type, which you still, again, have amazing targets for that. Vision Hero Vion, Ferris, you name it, you can search it. And then a Hero Lives is, as long as it doesn't get negated, it's by far the best opener that you can possibly have, because you just control no face-up monsters, pay half your life points, and special summon any elemental hero monster from your deck, any level 4 or lower elemental hero monster from your deck. So that's just a free search off of Stratos of another monster, or with Shadow Mist, a free search of Mass Change without using your normal summon. So it's really good. Obviously, paying half your life points kind of sucks, but usually I've never had that really hurt me, because you're getting so much out of just a free special summon. And then we're playing the 1 Polymerization. It's searchable off of Vion, so easily accessible. And then 1 Miracle Fusion. It again is fairly easily accessible by one of our extra deck monsters, Sunrise. You search it. So basically this is fusion summoning using monsters from your hand or field. And then Miracle Fusion is fusion summoning by banishing the monsters from your field or graveyard. So they obviously, you could poly into something, and then be able to use those same monsters that you use for polymerization in the graveyard for Miracle Fusion to then summon out another one. So that's kind of really nice to be able to double dip like that. And then the final 2 cards, 1 Called by the Grave. You search a lot, so Called by the Grave is really nice. And then the Monster Reborn, just free monster from the grave. Get a free search, basically, is what that means. So that is it for the main deck. Stuck with 40 just because we don't really have any, draw cards per se. So we'll have a lot of search cards. So 40 is perfect. For the extra deck, of course, playing 2 Dark Law. He's absolutely crazy. No matter what format it is, he's always good. Because any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. And then when your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, you can banish 1 random card from their hand. So that's just killer, both of those effects. We're also playing 1 Acid. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but when he's summoned, you're going to destroy as many spell and traps on your opponent controls as possible. Amazing. Masked Hero Blast is your wind type one. So basically, if this card is special summoned, you target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and its attack becomes half its current attack. And then during either player's turn, you can pay 500 life points and target a spell and trap your opponent controls and return to the hand. So 2 very decent effects off of him. And then the last masked hero is Dion. He's the Earth type. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon a level 4 or lower hero monster from your deck. So that is killer right there. And then for our elemental hero fusion cards, playing of course is Sunrise. When he's special summoned, you'll be able to search that Miracle Fusion just right off his summon. Really good. And we play that Absolute Zero. Again, when he leaves the field, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls, and then he also gains 500 attack for each water monster on the field, but it's just that second effect. Then we're playing the 1 elemental hero Escuridao. He gains 100 attack for each elemental hero monster in the graveyard, but he's just a really nice dark fusion monster you can go into. And then our Destiny hero fusions that we're playing are Dangerous. Now he just requires a Destiny hero monster and a dark effect monster. So fusion summoning into him, you can even use, again, you're using that Fusion Destiny, so sending monsters from your deck to the grave. And so since he just requires a dark effect and a Destiny hero, that allows you to send your Shadow Mist and get that search, which is really nice. And then you can also discard a card and send a Destiny hero monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. So that can get like Malicious to the grave. Really nice. And the other Destiny hero we're playing is Dominance. He requires just 3 Destiny hero monsters. During your main phase, you'll be able to look at the top 5 cards of your deck or your opponent's deck and place them on the top of the deck in any order. So either, kind of stacking your deck for your next draw, or, giving your opponent something terrible when they have to draw, or just figuring out what they're playing. So this card is just really good. And then when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can draw a card. And then when this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 3 level 9 or lower Destiny hero monsters with different names in your graveyard and special summon them. So basically how you fusion summoned him, with those 3 monsters, you'll be able to special summon them back. And remember also that with Fusion Destiny, that monster that you summon with this is destroyed during the end phase of the following turn. So as long as he's on the board during that, destroy him and then special summon back those monsters. Really cool. And then we are also playing for the Vision Hero, Trinity. He is by far your best option for OTKing because after he's fusion summoned for the rest of the turn, this card's attack becomes double its original attack. And then this fusion summon card can make a second and third attack during each battle phase, but it cannot attack directly. So yeah, that as long as your opponent has 3 weak monsters on board, you're attacking all 3 of those monsters with a lot of damage. And then for our links, we're of course playing the 2 Cross Crusader. When he's link summoned, you're going to target a Destiny hero in your graveyard and special summon it. So that's absolutely amazing. And then you contribute 1 Destiny hero monster and then add any hero monster with a different name from your deck to your hand. Really, really good. And then we're playing the 1 Wonder Driver. Now, if a hero monster is normal or special summoned to a zone that this card points to, you can target a Polymerization, a Fusion spell card, or a Change spell card in your graveyard and set that target. And so that allows you to obviously reuse your fusion spells. Really important. And the last card is Dread Decimator. This card and any hero monsters it points to gain 100 attack for each hero monster with a different name in your graveyard. And if this card attacks defense position monster, you'll inflict piercing battle damage. So later on in the duel, usually, you'll be able to have him up pretty high, and also, of course, any other hero monster that it's pointing to. So that's the deck, guys. I really like it. Really fun. Again, not crazy budget, but I think budget enough, again, while still being, very competitive. So yeah, check it out, and we will catch you on the next one.